So today we will write our first program in C++ and run it. In this lecture, we will revise the C++ program concept. We will look at the steps in writing a C++ program, what is meant by compiler, or you can say compiling, and the program execution method, and we will look at our basic C++ program structure, not in detail in this lecture, and then write a sample C++ program in DevC++ and run, or you can say execute it. So first of all, let's revise the definition of a C++ program. C++ program is a sequence of C++ instructions given to computer to perform a particular task. As you can see in the figure, the computer user has a to-do list which is actually a sequence of instruction given to the computer. So it is a program. Once given, the computer will follow all instructions one by one and will do the task given by the person. Programs could be written for the following task. For example, adding numbers to get their sum, or you can say calculate result of students in a class and grade them accordingly, or take as input the temperature in Fahrenheit and convert it to centigrade, or anything you want your computer to do. So I hope you get the concept. So let's see what are the steps in writing a C++ program. First of all, we will open DevC++, then we will write a C++ program and then save it. Next, we will compile the program and then run it. But the question is, what is meant by compiling a program? Compiling means converting a high-level language or middle-level language to low-level language, or you can say binary language or machine language. Once done with the compilation, or you can say translation, we will run the program and it will give us some output on the screen. So let's look at what is a compiler in C++. A compiler is a computer program that transforms human-readable source code into computer-understandable language. Or you can say that a compiler transforms a program in high-level or middle-level programming language to low-level or machine language. Once the program is in machine language, or you can say binary language, the computer can directly understand it and can run it happily. So we can see it in the figure. Here we have a C++ program and it is provided to the compiler, and the compiler converts the program to machine language. So this is the binary language in the form of zeros and ones, and the computer can only understand this. What is compiler actually doing here? It is converting the program written in C++ language to a program written in machine language so that the computer can understand it and follow the set of instructions in the program given by the user, or you can say programmer. So the basic purpose of compiler is translation, and that's why it is known as translator. Another important point is another word of program is code as well. So C++ program is also known as C++ code. Now we will look at the steps of program execution method. So this is the figure showing the procedure. But wait a minute, what is this library in this figure? You are not familiar with this word yet, so let's first understand it. Some C++ programs use libraries. Library is a piece of C++ instructions that perform functions that are frequently used. So these frequently used functions, for example, calculating log of a number or to calculate square root of a number, etc. Every time we want to use that function, we do not need to write the C++ code for that. How? Let's look at the example. We want to calculate log of a number. So we will not write the whole mathematical procedure to calculate log of a number in the program. Instead, we will just write the statement log 30 as you can see in the figure and include its header file in the program, and the computer will calculate log of the number 30. How will it calculate? Because piece of the program that calculates log of a number is already written by C++ developers, or you can say C++ manufacturers. So this piece of program that calculates log of a number is a library and is linked with our program by including the header file so that log of the number 30 can be calculated easily, and this linking is basically done by the linker. Libraries are provided to save user time so that the user won't have to write C++ statements for frequently used functions and can save his time. Libraries are further discussed in the next lecture. If still you did not understand as a beginner, once you start programming, then we will use them and further explain them, and then you can understand it later in case of any doubt. So no worries, I hope. So now you are familiar with the word libraries, so let's see the steps of program execution method. Program is provided, this is a program, and this is basically provided to the compiler, which translates it into machine language program, or you can say the object program or object code as well. So once the program is translated, this object code is actually this object code is actually our program in machine language. Here, if there is any library used in the program, then that library is linked with our program by the linker. As you can see in the figure, this is the object code and this is the library, and they both are linked together with the help of linker. And if library is not used, then only this object code is provided to the linker, and no library linking is required here. Once linked, the program is ready to be executed. So the program runs and it gives us the output on the screen based on the instructions given in the program. Now let's move towards writing our first C++ program. So in this slide, we will look at what are the steps of writing our first C++ program. First of all, we have a C++ program and we will write into the DevC++ compiler and save it. Then we will compile the program and then we will run the program. So the software that we are using to run the C++ program is DevC++, and the other softwares that are used are Visual Studio C++, Turbo C++, and MinGW. So you can also use them to execute them, but in this course we are going to use DevC++. So now we are looking at the basic program structure before running a program. So the first statement in red is header file. I will not go into detail in this lecture as we are just running the program. I will explain the purpose of header file in section 4 that has detail about it, but not now. Then we have a main function in yellow. This function basically has all program instructions in it, and every C++ program has a main function. So all program statements are written in main function till the statement return 0, which is the last statement of the program, and the main function ends with it. So here is a sample program that we are going to run in DevC++ now, and this program prints the words HelloWorld on the screen. So let's go to DevC++ and run it. So let's move towards writing our first C++ program and run it. So first of all, we will go to File and then New and then further Source File. So here we will write our first C++ program. Through this program, we will give instructions to computer, and these instructions will be written in the main function. So first of all, by using 2 backslashes, I will tell you that we can write comments like this in a C++ program. Double backslash. This is my first program. Comments are not C++ statements. They are just provided to write anything extra than the C++ program for understanding. So let's write the header file for the C++ program. Hash include and then iostream.h. This header file is telling the computer that if some input or output functions are used in the program, you can recognize them by looking at the C++ code written in iostream.h header file and can execute them. If this header file is not included, C++ program will give an error as it does not recognize the input-output statement such as cin and cout. Now we are going to write the main function. So we are going to write int space and then main and then parentheses. So after that we will start the curly bracket and then we will end the curly bracket. This ending curly bracket shows the end of main function. So that main function contains the instructions given to the computer. First instruction that we are going to write is cout hello world. Cout prints hello world and ENDL is used to move to next line on the output screen. Second statement that we are going to write is system pause. This statement tells the computer to give pause till user presses a key on the keyboard. As soon as the key is pressed, next statement is executed. Next statement is return 0. So now we are going to write it. This statement returns an integer and the main function ends. So let's save our program. Now we will go to File and then Save. And as you can see that we are in the folder DevC++, and further inside DevC++ we will save the program in the bin folder. So all files will be saved here. Now we compile the program. Remember, compiling means converting high-level language or middle-level language to low-level language. So here we are converting C++ to binary language in the form of zeros and ones so that the computer can understand the program that we have written and the computer can run it. So here we can see this execute on the menu. So click on execute and click on compile. So now the program is compiled. Now again go to execute and click on run. So now the program is executed and it will show you the output. As you can see on the screen that hello world is printed, or we can use both compile and run together using this one option. So we will click on the execute menu and then compile and run. As you can see, by clicking on one button, compile and run, the program is compiled and is executed both at the same time. So now you can see the output of the program. The hello world is printed on the output screen and then it is written that press any key to continue. Because of the system pause statement, this is shown as press any key to continue, and as soon as this key is pressed, we will move to return 0 statement. The program is ended and we will go back to DevC++. So this is the incomplete description. If you did not understand any point, then detailed description is given in the next lecture of the Hello World program. After discussing the topic of header files in detail, because only then you can understand fully each and every statement of C++. So congratulations on running our first C++ program successfully. Hope you liked and enjoyed it. If you liked the videos, you can take the complete C++ course on Udemy.com. Link is given in the video description. And if you want discounted coupons for the course, type the word discount in the comment section. The contents of the course are shown here. The course is designed for absolute beginners and it takes you to advanced level using practical activities. Thank you.